Oh, hi. Happy Reformation Day. We've got little Martin with us today. I don't think he's going to post any theses, I hope not, against us. Nope.
No.
So thanks for joining us for announcements, for our fellowship. There's lots going on. We're rounding the corner into big time season. With events taking place in early November, mid and late November, and all of December. So here we are at the end of 21. Most immediately, next Sunday is Fall Back. So I wouldn't say it's my favorite Sunday of the year, but I look forward to it quite a bit. It's just nice to have a little extra time if you make use of it. Most importantly, that change happens, of course, overnight, Saturday into Sunday. So make your plans accordingly. It used to be more of an event than it is now. I mean, with smartphones, it just changes. You don't have to sit there and turn your clock back on your phone. It just knows what to do. But if you don't have that, then maybe the night before, go around changing all of your clocks. But that's next week.
When our kids were very little, one of the children had to ensure that all of our digital clocks changed the minute at the exact same time.
Really?
So that child would run around the house for hours maybe, ensuring that the second that this one changed, maybe the next one that was close by changed as well. And so it drove us crazy. And by the time we finally had them all set, it was time to change them again. So it was a big ordeal in our house.
What's that child doing today?
I'm not going to talk about what that child is
Darn
doing
it.
today. Suffice it to say.
I thought that'd be more subtle than just coming out and asking. So you're a good dad.
Thank you.
Oh.
Mark, if you're out there, hello.
Oh! Wow. So I guess the other thing about the 7th of November is that's also All Saints Day.
Yes.
All Saints Day observed. We got our actual Reformation Day today, so that our All Saints observation falls to next week. Today is the deadline to turn in your form to the office to submit that for inclusion in the bulletin. So it isn't too late, especially if you do that electronically. We'd love for that to be a part of the worship service. So please do that. And I suppose it's also worth mentioning, since I'm talking about more immediate things today, immediately following this riveting announcement broadcast, we're going to have something that is even more riveting, and that is our Handbell Quartet is going to be doing a short live stream concert, which we got to hear them, you and I got to hear them twice already this morning, and listen to people trying not to applaud. I think that's interesting. And in church, they're like, should we applaud? Should we not? But they really deserve it. So join us right after this for a really nice program. Many spirituals in this particular program. So that's coming up next.
Look forward to hearing that. I'm going to actually be here. Sounds so much better live. Always does. So run on up here. We can delay our concert. If you really need to get up here, just let us know and we'll just keep talking for a while. Or not. Next week, you talked about falling back. You talked about the All Saints Day.
Yes.
We also have our congregation meeting.
Whoa. All
So,
right.
buy two, get one free. So come. It's a important time for our church to just come together and talk about the the things that are going on in this church, how we're serving, what we're doing, and just to vote in board members. So it's definitely a time to come and just kind of check in and see what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's an old adage that communication is key. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the primary ways that we communicate in one place at one time, the mission, the vision, the ministries, where we're at financially, what our intentions are for the coming year. That all happens in one place at this meeting. So it's more than just yay or nay vote on things. It really is a touchstone for what we are looking for God to do in and through us. It is important. So please join us for that.
We're entering the time of preparation for Christmas, which means we are in full swing for the boutique. And so there is, acceptance of any holiday-themed items that are sellable. You can drop them off here, just place them in the library. They ask that you do that by next Sunday so that they have time to sort and price and do whatever they do. And we also have the boutique. They're asking for members of the congregation and friends of members, and maybe even not friends of members, to cook, to bake.
Enemies of members.
And what?
Enemies of members?
Yes. Do not bake enemies of members.
Just sort of loose acquaintances.
Loose acquaintances
Doesn't matter.
are fine.
Just start baking.
Just start baking. And the goods will be sold on November 12th and 13th. That is coming up quickly.
Sure is.
So if you can bake, then please consider doing so. What else? There's a bunch of stuff in here. You could talk to Nancy Seabrook or Marilyn Meyerholt for information that you need.
Yeah, and the reason all of this work is being done is for the ability of our women's group to then release funds for mission. So all of that is to say that there is a deadline date if you would like to submit a request for a grant. And I believe that that's November 19th. Those are due in writing, pretty sure, by November 19th. They'll be voted on December 5th, discussed in the normal Women's League meeting. So that's the whole idea, beyond the obvious sort of reaching out in our community, being a place and inviting people to come in and get to know us a little bit. All the monies collected go back into funding mission. So that is at the heart of all of the other detail work that goes into these events, is the desire to be able to support the work that people from our congregation do, local missions, most especially being able to serve our community in Jesus' name. So it's always worth, I think, just taking a moment to stop and remember why all of this is being done. And so make sure that you are aware if there's something that you would like to do, if there's an emphasis in our community that you would like to partner with. Funds are available for you to help get you started.
Absolutely.
And don't be shy.
You know, it might be a good time, too, to talk about Stephen Ministry. Mm-hmm. We haven't talked about that for a while. As we enter into this holiday season, sometimes it seems worth reminding people that we have trained caregivers that will walk beside you through this season or any season. They're available right now. And so we encourage you to reach out and talk to Ron Croucher, Sue Matsky, or yourself.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Stephen Ministry program is always self-evaluating and improving itself. There's a whole new unit of training having to do with pandemic-related stresses that, isolation, feelings of loneliness. These are all things that Stephen ministers are now being trained to do. when they meet together, starting with the Stephen leaders. So hopefully all of that translates into an invitation to make use of our Stephen ministry. You know, I think our human nature is, when we're feeling bad or sad, is to just curve inward on ourselves and kind of hide away and not be seen and hope that things get better. But having someone with you, having someone to talk to, and just to verbalize what you're going through is so helpful. And it just goes against, I think, the way a lot of us are built.
Right.
And it's just taking that first step to make the contact and to start the process of talking about something with somebody that you know this isn't going to go anywhere else between the two of us. Whatever you can do to just break that cycle, I just want to encourage you to try it. Just try it a couple times and see what it does in your life. I'm willing to bet that you will feel a lot better than you did.
Right.
Even acknowledging that the problem itself is probably not going to change. It'll be the same circumstances before that are after you've talked, but you'll feel differently about it because you know there's somebody walking with you.
And it's not, to put it, to use maybe a medical analogy, Stephen Ministries is not just an emergency room. You don't go to it when you're in crises.
Yeah.
It's definitely that, but it's also like a family doctor's office where if you're kind of feeling a little bit sick, you go. I mean, that's what they're here for, is to walk beside you with anything, for anything.
Yeah. 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 And so I'm glad you brought that up, because that is true. There's new stuff going on there all the time. One last thing that I'll say, and that is we're sort of not far from the finish line as far as the meeting next week is concerned. But if you are still kicking around praying about the idea of getting involved with a board or ministry at St. Mark, just please let us know so that could be factored into the slate that's going to be presented of interested people and voted on. We'd love to have that be formally recognized, which is the idea behind the bringing it to the congregation. But even if you're still on the fence or still not sure, just keep praying about it. And if you have any questions, reach out to any of us, any of the church leadership as well, and we'd be happy to answer any question that you might have. Because we are very much open to welcoming you on board and getting new ideas and letting you run with that, see where we go. It's a great place to do that type of ministry. So join us.
Anything else? I have nothing.
That's it. Just hang on for a little bit if you're not going anywhere. We'll be right back in just a minute or so, or maybe a bit longer. But the next thing that's going to happen is that we'll pop up again with our Handbell Quartet live stream. So if you're not joining us for that, join us online the rest of this week. Things are pretty normal as far as that goes, and we'll see you there.